welcome to What's Growing at CMC, the weekly segment where I, Talasha,
and I, Daniel, share news about the stories and the ways that God is at work through College Mennonite Church.
Mother and daughter, Adriana and Brianna, both had birthdays on Saturday.
Friends drove by to wish them a happy birthday.
The canopies here are getting a good use these days.
Weavings and embajadores both gathered last week for some outdoor Sunday school time.
We as a church officially began This Is the Story last week.
Today, we continue what we began last week with the Song and Story Time.
Stay on your streaming after this segment, and soon Song and Story Time will come on.
Or, if you're tuning in through Facebook Live for the Spanish translation, stay on for the Spanish version of the Song and Stories.
We've made some tweaks in the interactive aspect of this, so it should be simpler this week.
You'll see pictures soon of the Harmon family's story project.
They're documenting the story photojournal style.
And speaking of photos, we need yours.
Anne-Marie and Addie are working on a special project for October 4, which is World Communion Sunday.
Yes, and we would love to have recent photos of all of you for a video collage.
Whether or not we have seen your face here in this sanctuary before, we want your pictures.
These will be shown in a worship service, so please send us pictures that are your property and that you're willing to have shown broadly.
Send them to the church office.
The church board kicked off their year by welcoming Nat Jordan as a new member.
They are working on our first ever hybrid congregational meeting.
Mark your calendar for November 8 at 4 p.m.
This meeting will be an opportunity for all of us to take part in the important work that helps our church function daily.
Randy Klaus, David Weaver, and Mike Miller have also put a lot of time and energy into church work lately.
Thanks to this trio for their detailed work in reviewing our financial accounts.
This is a huge annual project.
And it ensures that we are operating with highest integrity.
Madeline, David, and a host of volunteers continue to keep very busy with the food pantry and keeping that connected to outreach.
As of the end of August, $76,363 had been given to the COVID-19 fund.
This money has been used for the food pantry, but has also gone to help people with rent, utilities, bills, internet, and all kinds of other necessities.
This will put the needs of our community in perspective.
As of August 28, $56,532 had gone out into the community to help people survive during this pandemic.
And we're not just handing out money.
David, Madeline, and others are building relationships with people in need.
Often, the difference between surviving another month and thriving in the long term is relationships and connections.
Even during a pandemic, these ties are being formed.
People are becoming connected with this church family.
And as one family gets back on their feet, they're able to help others.
These relationships give dignity and bring equality.
We're learning a lot as a congregation.
We are becoming the church we are called to be.
We've said it before, and we will say it again.
Things won't quickly go back to normal, so we need to figure out sustainable new practices.
And it will be interesting to see which of these practices stick on post-pandemic.
Phil continues with Meet Me in the Garden on Mondays.
Pamela continues with Meet Me on the Porch on Thursdays.
And now Pamela is beginning another Zoom gathering called Meet Me in the Morning at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays.
This time, on Tuesdays, will be for reflecting on the Psalms and connecting with one another.
As you know, we are trying to find safe ways for us to meet in person occasionally.
These aren't just like what we have done before.
Because recreating what has been right now is frankly just kind of sad.
Yeah. So instead, we're finding ways of being that are tailor-made for our times.
Please remember that you don't have to wait for a church-planned event to find your own ways to safely gather.
Yep. We've enjoyed seeing the various small outdoor gatherings that you are having with each other.
Keep reaching out to each other. Keep caring for each other.
Whatever this week holds for you,
Whatever challenges it throws your way,
know that you are not alone.
you are loved by this church family.
And you are made in God's image.
God was,
God is,
and God will be.
thanks be to God.
Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God.